and your habits decide your future. The question is, are your habits working for you, or are they silently working against you? Because the things you do daily, the things you repeat without thinking, those things are shaping the person you're becoming. Not next year, not next month. Right now, this video is not just about habits. It's about taking back control of your life. It's about replacing regret with results, wishing with working, someday with starting today. So if you're tired of being stuck, if you're ready to grow, to build, to break through, then stay with me. Because in the next few minutes, you're going to learn the exact mindset and actions that separate winners from wanderers. Remember, my friend, you cannot change your destination overnight, but you can change your direction today. Let's begin. The daily agenda, designing a winning routine. Ladies and gentlemen, let's get right into it. If I were to follow you around today, and I mean all day long, from the moment your feet hit the floor to the moment you closed your eyes at night, and I wrote it all down. Everything you did, everything you said, everything you ate, every thought you entertained, let me ask you, what kind of future would that record predict? You see, your future is not in a far-off place, my friends. It's not 5 years down the road. It's not waiting at the end of some miracle event. No, your future is being built right now in how you spend your day. Now here's a little philosophy I picked up early in life. Your day is your life in miniature. What you do with the next 24 hours, how you choose to spend your morning, how you treat your health, how you speak to your family, how you handle your work, that's your life. Not someday, not next year, now. So the big question is this, what's your daily agenda look like? Because if you want to change your life, you've got to change your days. Let's talk about that. Let's talk about how to design a winning routine, a daily game plan that builds momentum, builds discipline, and builds you. 1. Start the morning with intention first principle. How you start the day often determines how you end the day. I meet folks who roll out of bed, no plan, no thought, no strategy. They reach for the phone, they check the news, they scroll, they scroll, they scroll, and guess what? The world has already hijacked their mind before breakfast. You want to live better? Then you've got to start better. Wake up early, not because it's fashionable, but because it gives you the advantage. Time to think, time to reflect, time to set your intention. Let the morning be yours, not the world's. 2. Don't just fill the day. Focus it. You ever met someone who's busy all day, but never gets anything done? Sure you have. Maybe that someone is you. Here's a powerful rule to live by. Don't mistake activity for achievement. Just because you're moving doesn't mean you're progressing. That's why I recommend you pick 3 priorities. Just 3. What 3 things, if accomplished today, would make it a successful day? Write them down. Guard them like treasure. Finish them before anything else. Because if you don't run the day will run you. 3. Build a ritual, not just a routine. You ever notice how successful people are boring? I mean it. They wake up, they read, they work out, they review, they repeat. Why? Because they've learned the secret. Success isn't always exciting, but it is always consistent. So build yourself a few winning rituals. 10 pages of a good book every morning. A walk without your phone. Quiet time to reflect. Plan your meals, plan your moments. Simple disciplines, practiced every day, lead to big results over time. 4. Respect the clock, or be owned by it. Your time is your most precious resource. You can get more money, you can get more stuff, but you can't get more time. That's why I tell people, treat time like you treat your cash. Track it, budget it, spend it wisely. Let me give you a visual. Imagine you wake up each day with 24 gold coins in your pocket. Each hour, gone. You can't get it back. So how are you spending your coins? Scrolling, complaining, procrastinating, or investing, building, connecting? You decide. 5. Close the day with reflection. The morning is for direction. The evening is for correction. At the end of the day, ask yourself, what did I do right? Where did I mess up? What will I do better tomorrow? Because we don't just want experience. We want evaluated experience. And that simple reflection at night, that's where the wisdom comes in. Don't go to bed tired. Go to bed wiser. Let me wrap this up. Your habits are not just habits. They are vote slips for your future. Each small action adds up. Each decision casts a vote. And before you know it, those votes become your identity. So the question is simple. What kind of future are your habits building? Are you just surviving the day, or are you designing it? Because I'll tell you, you don't need to predict the future. Just take a look at your daily agenda. That's where the real forecast is written. Change your day, you change your destiny. Let's keep going. There's more to uncover, more to build, because you, my friend, are just getting started. Habits of the mind. The thinking that builds or breaks you. Let me start with a simple truth. My friend, the most powerful thing you'll ever own is your mind, not your money, not your muscles, not your social media followers. Your mind, because your thoughts are the architects of your behavior, and your behavior is the blueprint of your results. So if your life's not going where you want it to go, don't start by blaming the government. Don't start by blaming your boss. Don't even blame the weather. Start by asking this: what have I been thinking about lately? Here's something I learned early. You can't outperform your own philosophy. What does that mean? It means your thought habits, the ideas you repeat, the beliefs you cling to, the inner conversations you have all day long. They shape your decisions, and your decisions shape everything. So if your mental habits are small, you'll live small. If they're scattered, you'll live distracted. If they're negative, you'll attract negativity, like a magnet. But if your thoughts are clear, disciplined, focused, well, now you've got something. Now you're dangerous. 1. You become what you think about most. Let me ask you, what's the dominant thought in your mind these days? Worry, doubt, comparison, fear? Or is it vision, discipline, gratitude, opportunity? Because what you meditate on, you magnetize. What you dwell on, you eventually do. That's why we say, as a man thinketh, so is he. You ever hear someone say, well, I'm just not good with money? I've never been confident. I always mess things up. You know what that is? That's not truth. That's mental habit. They've been thinking the same thought for so long, it turned into a belief. And what do beliefs do? They guide decisions. So what started as a lazy little thought became a life script. And now they're living out a story they never meant to write. 2. Change your thoughts. Change your life. You say, Jim, how do I change my life? Well, you start by changing your thinking. You say, but that's hard. Of course it's hard. So is being broke. So is regret. So is waking up every day feeling stuck. You choose your hard. So let me give you some mental disciplines, some new thought habits. First, start feeding your mind better ingredients. Garbage in, garbage out. So guard the gates. Watch what you read. Watch who you listen to. Watch what conversations you entertain. Your mind is a garden. You're either planting seeds of growth, or you're letting weeds take over. Choose wisely. Second, write down what you're learning. You see, we forget 90% of what we hear, but when you write it, you lock it in. And the habit of capturing wisdom, that's a millionaire habit. Buy a journal, start today. Doesn't have to be fancy, just has to be consistent. Because the weakest ink is stronger than the strongest memory. Third, talk to yourself better. You don't need anyone else to tear you down. Most people are doing a great job of that themselves. You ever heard your inner voice? That won't work. You're not smart enough. Don't even try. I say fire that voice. Hire a new one. One that says you're learning, you're getting stronger, you've come too far to quit now. That's not ego. That's mental leadership. 3. Reflection. The growth habit of the mind. Now let's talk about one of the most underrated habits of success. Reflection. You see, experience is not the best teacher. Evaluated experience is. Take 10 minutes at the end of your day. Ask yourself, what did I think about most today? What thoughts helped me? What thoughts held me back? Because when you take time to review your thinking, you start to reshape it. And when you reshape your thoughts, you reshape your life. Let me give you this visual. Imagine your mind as a thermostat. It sets the temperature of your life. If you keep it set at average, you'll live average, no matter how hard you work. But if you raise that setting, if you start thinking like a leader, like a builder, like a creator, then your actions start to match your mindset. And suddenly, you're not living the same day over and over again. You're growing, you're building, you're becoming. Final thoughts: think higher, live better. Let me say this as clearly as I can. Your mind is either your best friend or your worst enemy. And you get to decide which one it's going to be. So take control of your thoughts. Challenge the lies. Feed your mind with truth, with wisdom, with vision. Practice gratitude. Practice discipline. Practice belief. Because, my friend, what you think becomes what you do. And what you do becomes who you are. Fix the thinking, and everything else starts to align. Let's move forward. There's more to build, more to uncover, because the next chapter, it's about discipline. And let me tell you, That's where the magic really begins. Discipline is the bridge from goals to achievement. Now I want you to really lean in for this one, because if you only remember one thing from this whole program, this might be it. Discipline is the bridge. That's right. The bridge between where you are and where you want to be, between goals and achievement, between dreams and reality, between someday and now it's done. Discipline, it's the missing link for so many. Let's be honest, everybody wants success. Everybody wants the reward, the health, the money, the respect, the peace of mind. But not everybody's willing to pay the price. You see, it's not the goal that's hard. Setting a goal is easy. Writing down a dream takes 30 seconds. The hard part is discipline, doing what needs to be done, even when you don't feel like doing it. And here's the secret. Feelings don't build futures, habits do. 1. Discipline is doing it anyway. Now don't misunderstand me. There's nothing wrong with emotions. But you can't let emotions drive the car. If you only act when you feel like it, you'll never get anywhere worth going. Discipline says, I don't want to get up early, but I do it anyway. I don't feel like exercising, but I do it anyway. I'm tired of budgeting, but I do it anyway. You say, Jim, that's hard. Of course it's hard, but so is being broke. So is waking up sick. So is looking back 10 years from now with regret. You've got to choose your hard. Discipline might be hard now, but regret is harder later. 2. The pain of discipline versus the pain of regret. Now let me give you one of the best ideas I ever learned. There are 2 types of pain in life. The pain of discipline and the pain of regret. Discipline weighs ounces. Regret weighs tons. Discipline says, I'll skip the cookie today. Regret says, why didn't I take care of myself? Discipline says, I'll read 10 pages a day. Regret says, why didn't I ever finish that book, that degree, that dream? Discipline is temporary. Regret lingers. So if you must suffer, choose the pain that leads to progress. 3. Little by little becomes a lot. Here's the key most people miss. Discipline isn't about one big moment. It's not just showing up big on day 1. It's showing up small on day 37, day 72, day 110. Success is built in the ordinary, daily decision. Not once, not twice, but repeatedly. The choice to write, the choice to study, the choice to listen, to plan, to improve. Jim Rohn said, success is nothing more than a few simple disciplines practiced every day. It's not complicated, but it is consistent. 4. Discipline is a muscle. Train it. People say to me, Jim, I'm just not a disciplined person. I say, you don't have to be yet, but discipline is like a muscle. You train it, you start small, and you show up. That's how you grow it. Maybe it's waking up 30 minutes earlier. Maybe it's putting $10 into savings. Maybe it's turning off your phone during dinner. It's not about perfection, it's about progress. And the more you practice discipline, the stronger you become. Not just in action, but in character. And that's the goal. Because discipline doesn't just change what you do, it changes who you are. 5. Create a life that doesn't need escaping from you. Ever meet people who are always trying to escape? They binge, they scroll, they hide, they avoid. Why? Because they haven't built anything worth staying in. But when you live a life of discipline, you don't need to escape. You love what you're creating. Discipline gives you pride. Discipline gives you peace. Discipline gives you power. Final thoughts. Build the bridge. Walk it daily. So what's the big idea? Goals don't get you there. Habits do. Wishing won't get you there. Work will. And the only way to cross from dreaming to doing is with that bridge called discipline. Every day you show up. Every day you do what needs to be done. And little by little, you become the person who earns the reward. So here's the challenge. Pick one discipline. Start small. Practice it daily. Build the muscle. And watch your life begin to transform. Because the distance between where you are and where you want to be, it's not time, it's not talent, it's not luck, it's discipline. And the good news? You can start building that bridge today. The environment effect. You rise or fall with your circle. Let me tell you one of the most important lessons I ever learned. You become like the people you spend the most time with. That's it. That one insight can change the trajectory of your entire life. Because your environment matters. And I'm not just talking about the temperature of the room. I'm talking about the temperature of the people, the conversations, the energy, the expectations, the values. And whether you realize it or not, You are being shaped every single day by the circle you've allowed around you. So here's the big idea. You rise or you fall with your circle. One association is not neutral. Now this might surprise you, but association is never neutral. You don't just hang out with people. They don't just sit beside you. They rub off on you. Their mindset, their habits, their standards, they all begin to become part of your story. And not because you choose it, but because that's the power of proximity. So if you're around people who cut corners, who make excuses, who complain, who criticize, who drift through life with no goals, don't be shocked when you start doing the same. On the flip side, you surround yourself with thinkers, doers, builders, people who live with integrity, energy, purpose. Suddenly you start rising too. You absorb belief, you absorb confidence, you absorb momentum. 3 types of association. Learn to sort the circle now. Here's what I teach. You don't have to cut everyone off, but you do need to be strategic about how you spend your time. I break it down into 3 types of association. 1. Disassociation. Yes, there are some people you must walk away from. You say, but Jim, they've been my friends for years. And I say yes. And what have they done with your years? If someone's influence is toxic, negative, draining, destructive,